Hi, guys. Welcome to today's episode of The Virtue of Letting Go. I am really excited about this one today because, there is kind of like a spiritual law in the universe that the Creator gives you what you need exactly when you need it. And I should be said that I created this schedule about 2 weeks ago. I had, kind of channeled this idea that I was going to do this show about letting go. And each week was going to be a different subject. The first week is an introduction to letting go spiritually. This week is going to be about relationships, so on and so forth. And so I did so without even really paying attention necessarily to what was going on in the universe. I just kind of channeled these ideas. Well, come to find out that today is actually begins the transit of Venus in retrograde. And it begins in retrograde in the sign of Gemini. I guess that's why my hair is a little extra wild today, because Venus is in retrograde and it's in Gemini. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, first of all, when anything is in retrograde, it means that it feels like the Earth is spinning backwards towards the planet, although it's not really, because we know planets don't go backwards. They only go in one motion. But due to the speed of them, because they all rotate at different speeds, it feels like they're going backwards, okay? So Venus is an energy that only goes backwards every 2 years. It only goes retrograde like every 2 years. And so we have this opportunity right now as Venus goes into retrograde, and it goes into retrograde for the first time in 2 years, and it's in the sign of Gemini, okay? So what does that mean? Gemini itself is the planet of relationships. It's about love. It's about how we perceive love in our lives and what we do to take love in. How do we see ourselves? How do we see self-love? How is self-love evaluated in our lives? What does that look like? So because it's in retrograde, it means that we're going to have the opportunity to go into our lives and see how love relates in our life, how we look at love, how we get love, how we perceive love. So Gemini is the sign of the twins, as you may or may not know. So what that means is that Geminis traditionally have a perception of love that is a little bit more fluid than most, right? They are the signs of the people who will be happy to have an open relationship, or who will really compartmentalize things so much in their lives that love and relationships are here, and then work is here. Like, it's hard for them to kind of commingle and bring everything together. So as we're going retrograde right now with this energy, what it does is it gives all of us an opportunity to really evaluate where we are at in our lives with our relationships, both our relationships towards others and our relationships to ourselves. Okay, so we want to think about, and we want to go in and see, what is it that is not working for me? What relationships am I holding on to that are let's say, a distant memory from the past, but still come up at just the opportune moments? Or maybe they're not such a distant memory. Maybe there are things that you can't let go of, that you think of all the time, which is the topic of today's podcast. The topic of today's show is who are we not letting go of that is actually strangling us, okay? So these could be relationships that we have, anywhere from relationships with our parents, right? I have some clients who struggle with relationships with their parents. I've also been prey to relationships, intimate relationships and love relationships of our past that maybe it's very hard to let go of. And, relationships, friends, we can look at our lives and say, these friends that I have, these friends that I'm holding on to, why am I holding on to them? You may feel obligated to them. They may be people who you've carried on since childhood, but it's really time for you to get rid of. And it's not so easy for you to get rid of them because, they've just been there the whole time. Those are the kind of relationships that we want to begin to explore. And I think it's so amazing that we have the support of Venus in Gemini in retrograde to help us go in and to allow us to release ourselves from those people, places, and things. So again, like I said, no coincidences in the universe. I, of course, had a dream last night that was so, I don't want to say jarring. It was just like self-reflective more than anything. And in the dream, I was taken back to being 23 years old. And when I was 23, I was 22 during the summer, turned 23 at the end of the summer. And that summer I had met somebody, and this person was like a rock star. Like literally he was a rock star. He had a band. He was really edgy, really, really cool. And it was so fun and exciting. And for me at the time, it was so fun and exciting. It was like nothing that I'd ever experienced before. I would go to his concerts and be in a mosh pit. He was heavy metal, like not heavy metal, but like rock, which was not even my type of music, but I would like really get into it. Anyway, it was a really, really fun summer. And he showed me so much of New York that I'd never, ever seen before, or that I never even knew was possible. And so I really became, for lack of a better term, attached to this person. Right. And this was, I was 22 years old, and this person was 10 years older than I am. And it was fun. We had a really great time together. He opened my eyes to like so many really amazing things. And anyway, there was a part of me that really started to feel, I knew we weren't right for each other. He was a little too wild for me. I knew we weren't right for each other, but there was something that was so thrilling and so incredibly exciting about that relationship. So I ended up, going with the flow. And anyway, towards the end of the summer, September that year, he was like, look, God bless him. He was totally honest. He said, look, I think you want something more than I can give you. And I really hope that we can be friends, but I really am not interested in a relationship like you perceive a relationship to be. And of course, I was devastated. But, he was very adamant about remaining friends. He was persistent. He would, we'd meet up, he'd go out, whatever. And it was one of those things that was, it's a relationship that like never truly left me, right? I always would somehow, on one of my birthdays, he found out where my birthday party was, and he showed up, and it was nice to see him, but I was shocked because I was there with my current partner at the time. And I was like, oh my God, how do I explain this? And, whatever. And so I had a dream about this person last night, and it was so, so crazy to think that one person, one summer, one part of your life can really, really have such an impact on your life. And I thought about all the lessons that I had learned from that relationship, especially at 22 years old. You grow and you evolve and you change. And I looked back at who I was then and what was important to me then, and what was important to me then is not important to me now. And it was cool to be able to look back and see how I had let go of what I anticipated that relationship to be at that time. And then also you say, wow, thank God, thank God it didn't work out the way it did. But I use this story because I would like for us all to go inside and find and think about that one relationship, that one friendship, anything that we just can't let go of. And think about, how is it serving you to hold on to that relationship? Oftentimes it's because we're holding on to the fact that we want to get revenge in some way, somehow, right? And sometimes it's that the resentment itself, the resentment of that relationship is something that we feel so passionate about that it defines us. How does the resentment that you have towards that person or that relationship in your life actually define you, right? And then we can think about bigger picture things like, how is it stopping you from moving forward? Okay, so I want you to go back and I want you to think about this relationship that you just can't let go of. Okay, I want you to ask yourselves, how is this relationship serving me? How is it making me a better person? How is holding on to this relationship making me a better person? So for example, if it's somebody who, let's say, wronged you, you can say, okay, you know, I feel like this person wronged me, and because they wronged me, I will never be wronged again. Whatever that wronging is. Maybe they cheated on you, right? So you've become this person who's like, I will never let anybody cheat on me again. I will never be so insecure. I will never be so stupid. I will never be this. I will never be that. Well, that's now defined you. Okay, so you've taken the pain that you caused from that relationship, you've brought it here to the present, and you've said, this is who I am, and this is not going to define me. However, you're still holding on to that person. You're still holding on to that lesson. And it's because of them you're giving all that power to why you have changed. But that's not why you have changed. Okay, that person may have brought in to teach you that, but you did the work and you changed. And as you changed, you begin to allow yourself the process of saying, hey, you know what? Wow. That person, place, or thing was a major blessing in my life. And because I went through that experience, I am this who I am today. Then we can release it. Once we identify how we've learned the lesson of what that relationship brought to us, then we let it go. Identify the lesson. Forgive the person. Oh, God, I know you guys are like rolling your eyes at me. How do I forgive this fucking asshole? How is it even possible? Forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. By us forgiving, we allow ourselves the space to create the energy so that we can receive more and more and more into our lives. Okay? Just a recap of this week's light work. You're going to go and find that relationship that's holding you hostage, okay? What is holding you hostage? And while you're in that relationship, I want you to see what you have learned from it. How has it defined you in a positive way? What virtues or what benefit did you get? What did you learn from that relationship? And then what we're going to do is you're going to thank that person, thank that situation for teaching you this incredible, valuable life lesson. You're going to say forgiveness and you're going to let it go. This is what our meditation is going to be like today. So that's the person. The next aspect that I think is the most important aspect, and the reason I'm wearing this amazing shirt today, is the aspect of self-love. How are you loving yourself? How do you show up for yourself? Do you show up for yourself the way that you want somebody else to show up for you? Do you treat yourself the way that you want to be treated in a relationship? Do you honor all those things that are so important to you about the person that you want to date or the person that you want to be with? Do you honor them within you? The virtue of loving oneself is one of the greatest things that we can master. Because as we begin to really, really love ourselves, then we can show the world that we love ourselves. Therefore, we are worthy of being loved. Okay? Now, we're going to also cultivate self-love in today's meditation as well, because self-love is the grounding aspect of everything. Once we really, truly love ourselves, we allow all of that other energy to just kind of dissipate and go away. Okay? So we wouldn't be holding so much energy hostage of these other experiences if we truly, truly, truly loved ourselves. Okay? And if in any way you think about this for a second, that jilted relationship made you love yourself more, I want you to really, really focus on that today. If that's what that relationship taught you, then you really, really, really owe that energy forgiveness. And I know that it happens. It happens that we get stuck in a relationship and we don't really take the time to love ourselves because we think that the real virtuous thing, the real altruistic thing is to love that person so much more that I forget about myself. That's not self-love. That's need. Our relationships are generally either based on one or two things: true love or need. What do you want in your life? Do you want to attract people into your life that you want to bond with love? Or do you want to bond with them with need? If it's need, you can identify that eventually at the end of the day, it will go away. It will dissolve, unfortunately. Okay? So let's ask. So I want to talk about, before we jump into the meditation, I want to talk about this shirt I want to talk about where it came from and why it's so important to me. To you, it looks like it says, I think to you, it looks like it says it's forward. But when you put it on, it's actually amazing backwards, so that you look in the mirror and it shines back at you. And it says that you are amazing. And this was created by this amazing girl, Jenna, who was introduced. Well, I actually haven't met Jenna. Jenna actually tuned in today. I met her. I got wind of this campaign by my dear friend, Donna. Donna, I think she actually sent me the shirt, because I always say, oh my God, that's amazing. So she was like, this is so for you. But then I learned more about this campaign, and the campaign is about self-love, and it's about suicide prevention. And so if you would like to learn more, please, 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 please go to this web address right here. Please go to this web address right here that's in front of you. And I think my feed is paused for some reason. So go to this campaign and allow yourself to subscribe. Or to see the amazing work that they do. It's the amazingcampaign.ecwid.com. Okay. Something is really going. Okay, now we're back up and running. Sorry, guys. I got a random FaceTime, which I really don't love, and it threw me off. Anyway, so here we are. So please go visit the Amazing Campaign. The Amazing Campaign is on your TV, on your screen. I want you to take notice of it, and I want you to learn about these amazing girls and the incredible stuff that they do. Okay, so let's take all this energy that we worked on and let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the present, to the now, and allow ourselves the opportunity to really focus on what's important. Okay, so really letting go of those relationships that are no longer working for you. Are they out of love or are they out of need? So in today's meditation, we're going to actually do something really cool that's going to help us release. It's called the forgiveness exercise. Okay, so uncross your arms and your legs and open up your palms. Take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Begin to allow yourself to come to the center. Release everything that is. Come into your space today. I know that our minds are probably racing 1,000,000 miles a minute right now because this has stirred up so much about the relationships in our lives. As we bring them in, we just want to continue to release ourselves from them and send them out and out and out. Focus on some sound that's in your room right now or in the space that you're in. For me, I can hear the birds chirping outside. And it brings me so much peace. Now I want you to begin to focus your energy in your heart. And as your energy is focused on your heart, allow this ball of light that is in the center of your heart shine bright. As we begin to shift our awareness to our ball of light, let's witness that light grow. And as our ball of light grows, it grows more magnetic, more brighter. And you can feel that love growing from within you to the environment that you're in. Imagine your ball of light mixing with the atoms and molecules of the chair and the room that you're in and the space that you're in, expanding out into your house and your home, into the building that you're in. Keep expanding to the city and the state or the neighborhood. Expand out into the country, into the continent, to the bodies of water that are around the continent. See your light expanding and becoming one with everything in the world. Take a second to witness that. Allow that light to expand out into space, further and further and further out into space, past planets and galaxies, past the Milky Way. Expand out past space into the universe, the outer edges of the universe, the physical universe, into the spiritual world where there's different layers of light and some dark. Expand out past that too, until you come to a golden-like layer. And you feel yourself mixing with this golden-like layer. You feel its warmth and its wisdom, but you push out past the golden-like layer until you come to a jelly-like substance layer, which is also the laws of the universe. And as you expand out through the laws of the universe, you come to a beautiful pink haze, which is the law of compassion. The law of compassion reaches out further and further and further past you. As the law of compassion reaches out, you emerge into the seventh plane of all that is. And immediately everything dissolves into oneness. You feel this tingling-like sensation, this pearly-like essence all over you, radiating from within. All of your atoms and molecules merge with all the atoms and molecules of all that is. Remember that energy is not created or destroyed. It just is. So it's from this place that we're going to release and change some atoms and molecules to clear up the energy, to free you from past relationships and people in your life that are no longer serving your higher purpose. So I'm going to offer you what are called some downloads. Downloads are intuitive energies from the universe, and all you have to do is say yes to receive the downloads, and they'll be accepted into your subconscious mind. Would you like to know what it feels like to let go, and that you're worthy of letting go, and that it's safe for you to let go of these relationships in your life that are no longer working for you? If you'd like that, say yes. Would you like to know how to no longer be defined by these relationships? If you would like that, say yes. If you would like to know how to have the discernment between what energy is actually yours and what energy comes from the outside, other sources, and that you know how to use your energy interdependently within the web of the universe, say yes. Would you like to know how to allow yourself to be present in the moment with all of the lessons that you have learned in these relationships? Would you like to know how to be grateful for them and how to give them the honor and how to move on from them? If you'd like that, say yes. Would you like to know that it's possible to forgive those who have wronged you? And would you like to know the Creator's definition of forgiveness? Releasing yourself from the karma of being locked into old relationships and old patterns that keep spinning around and around and around, creating the same cycle of abandonment, of neglect, self-pity. What do we learn from them? Would you like to know ultimately what it feels like to love yourself? And that loving yourself is the truest and deepest and most powerful vibration in the entire universe. Because as you begin to love yourself, you begin to honor and recognize that how loving yourself mirrors how the universe and how the creator of all that is loves you. And you can feel in every cell of your body the importance of that. Would you like to know how to hold on to that forever and always be reminded of that no matter what happens to you? Would you like to know how to hold that energy and that vibration in the highest regard? And in doing so, I would like for you to think about that one person that we were talking about earlier, that it just seems so hard for you to let go of. Do you know who that person is? What I want you to do is I want you to call on their higher self. Their higher self is the perfected version of you, of them, the perfected version of them, the higher version of them that already knows all the lessons that they have learned. And so let's make the request, creator of all that is. It is requested that the higher self version of enter the person's name here be shown to me now. I want you to see that person's face in front of you. I want you to look them in the eyes. And you're going to say 3 times, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. You are forgiven. Okay? Let's do it together. I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. You are forgiven. And if you watch them go away, it means that the lesson has been learned. If their higher self does not go away, and you're still holding on. So in this space, you can ask your soul, ask the creator of all that is, what was the divine virtue that you gained or that you learned from this relationship? And from that space, do it again. Say thank you. Magnify those lessons in this lifetime. Release yourself from the obligation of having to hold on to that person to come into your life to teach you those lessons. And then repeat, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. You are forgiven. And watch their energy release onto their journey. One of you is asking me if you can do this with somebody who has passed. And the answer is yes, absolutely you can. If it's somebody who is no longer with us in the physical world, after you complete that exercise, you can send them to the Creator's light for the elevation of their soul. Now I want you to put your hands on your heart. And I want you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for holding on to this energy. Forgive yourself for maybe getting yourself in that relationship in the first place. Would you like to know what it feels like to forgive yourself? If you'd like that, say yes. Would you like to know that you're worthy of forgiving yourself and that by forgiving yourself, you free up the energy to allow more light and more love to come into your life. If you'd like that, say yes. So keep your right hand on your heart, put your left hand on your gut. Now I want you to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, bringing you back here and grounding you into the physical place. Before I do that, I want to ask you, do I have your permission to download you with unconditional love from the point of view of the universe and the creator of all that is? If you'd like that, say yes. So now let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Allow yourself to come here to this place. Feel the release of that energy in your life. Feel the openness you have to accept new relationships into your life that mirror and match your vibration. Relationships that are drawn to you for love, out of love, not out of need. Now I'd like for you to take your hands and I'd like for you to rub them together really, really fast. Faster, 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 faster. Feel the energy, feel the warmth, feel it accumulate. Feel yourself coming back here into the physical world. Move your toes, wiggle your toes. Now take your hands and put them over your eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. And as you do, you can open your eyes and feel that energy being brought into your eyes, radiating to your soul. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes and come into this space. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. That energy, that meditation that we did is from it's called a Theta Healing Meditation. It's created by Vianna Steibel. And I'm excited to share that I will be actually teaching a Theta Healing class online and teaching a Theta Healing class here on Zoom. And that is May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's on Zoom. If you would like to learn more about Theta Healing, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I will be more than happy to share more with you. If you want to register for the class, please just feel free to send me a direct message on Instagram or a message on Facebook. Many blessings to you all. I hope you have an amazing day and I hope that you found value in doing this exercise. Please join me here every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. And also on Sunday at 6 p.m. Today at 1 p.m. I'm doing a podcast. I'm a guest on Jack McAdoo's podcast. That podcast will go live at 1 p.m. And you can follow along on Jack McAdoo. Jack McAdoo Official online. He's an amazing podcaster, amazing host, an amazing human being. He's had me on his show a few times before, and his mission is to really inspire everybody to live their best life and to step into their abilities. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Have an amazing, 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 amazing day. And don't forget to visit Jenna's site. I'm going to put that right back up on Facebook so that you can see it. And I will see you guys soon. See you on Sunday, 6 p.m. for my weekly energy. Have a great day. Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.